Okay, good morning, everyone. Today, I will love to take you through a tour of my library. Let's start. Now, this is my library at home. Um, in this video, I'm going to explain to you about my library and emphasize the importance of reading. I want to lay big emphasis on the reading culture. There is a saying that if you want to hide something from a black man, put it inside a book. He will never find it. It's a disturbing saying. It's an embarrassing saying. Maybe an insulting saying as well. But it is actually true. Many people don't read in our society these days. Now, I have this library at home. Why I have it this way is because I want to encourage myself to read. The books here are handy. They are available. They are reachable. At any time I want to read any of them, I simply walk up to the shelf, pick one, and start reading. Most of the books here I have read over and over again. Let's start. Now, in the library here, I have different kinds of books. I have science books, engineering books, I have religious books, I have literature of different genre. Then, I equally have journals, I have magazines, and so on and so forth. Let me gradually go through the shelves and show you some of the books that I have there. You will love most of these books, and they usually make interesting reading. Okay, where do I start? Let me start from here. All the books you see here in this particular shelf are engineering books. Let me start. I have here Engineering Management by Stroud. You know about Stroud. So many of us that read engineering, you know about engineering mathematics, further engineering mathematics by Stroud. I have the first one and the second one. Then I have chemical engineering books. I have Perry and Green. I have Perry and Chilton. Then I have chemical engineering analysis. I have environmental pollution and control in chemical engineering. I have elements of chemical reaction engineering here. I have basic principles and the calculation in chemical engineering. So many chemical engineering books here. Most of these books were the books that I bought when I was doing my master's degree. They are there. Sometimes I still go through them. I still consult them. I still read them. These are for the engineering books. Now, these are reference books. Here you can see the Universal Dictionary and Thesaurus. You can see a book, very important book. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this book, Where There Is No Doctor. Very important book. I consult it sometimes when I'm looking for some basic medical information. So it's part of my library. There are so many other books about health. For instance, this, Healthy Body. It's an important book, just in case you want to read it. I have it in my library. I consult it from time to time. Okay, now, many of the books I have here are motivational books. books that will motivate and inspire you. Let me introduce you to some of those books so you understand what I'm saying. Okay, let me start from here. We all know about Stephen Covey. These are some of the books that he wrote that are here. Number 1, 7 Highly Effective People. You've probably heard about this, even though you may not have read it. We have The 8th Habit, a sequel to 7 Highly Effective People. Then we equally have Everyday Greatness. Everyday Greatness by Stephen Covey. Then I have here another good book, Daniel Goleman, Social Intelligence. Great books. I've read these books more than once. They are here in my library. Very wonderful books. Then here underneath, I have books by a very known author, very great author. Let me bring out some of the books so you see. Books by Brian Tracy. This is one of the books. 12 Disciplines of Leadership Excellence. Then another one, Unlimited Sales Success, Brian Tracy. Very good book. Please get books by Brian Tracy and read them. They open up your intellect, help you to be more successful, more effective in what you are doing. Brian Tracy is actually a sales guru. So you will get so many information about how to be an effective salesman when you read his books. They are very important, and I read them. See this one. Look at this one. Look at this one. Let me show you. Look at this one. Also by Brian Tracy himself. Look at it. The Winning Way. The Winning Way. Very, very good book. The first time I saw this book, I fell in love with it. Just step-by-step guide on how you will be effective and win in whatever you want to do. Very good book. Okay, side by side, Brian Tracy, I have some other books by somebody very special. Some of you probably may have read his book, John Messin, An Enemy Called Average. Good book, very good book. See this other one, Know Your Limits, but Ignore Them. You see, good book. So I wonder how somebody can read these books and not be really, really effective in what he or she is doing. Very good books. Okay, I have so many other books here by same authors. They are very good, quite wonderful books. I've read them, I can testify myself. Okay, let me move a little bit to this way. This shelf contains mostly business books. Let me gradually introduce some of them to you. Let me start from this. This is a wonderful book. A book I will any day recommend for any serious entrepreneur that wants to understand business. Billionaire in Training by Bradley Sugars. The first time I saw this book, I fell in love with it immediately. Bradley Sugars. You can Google him up. You can go for his books. It will wow your mind. In fact, I have bought this book more than 5 times. Bought it in the airport. I bought it in the market. I've ordered for it through e-commerce. Very good book. I have dashed out so many copies of this book. Right now I have 2 copies already with me here. Look at, I have two of them. So you see, I'm very serious in what I'm saying. Okay. Okay. Apart from Bradley, I have other entrepreneurship books. For instance, see this one. Very wonderful book. The Culture of Entrepreneurship. I saw this book by accident. It's actually written by a Cameroonian. And when I went through it, I was fascinated. I saw it in main market when I went to buy a toy for my children. When I saw it, I went through it, I couldn't leave. I had to buy this book. And of course, I came back empty-handed because I didn't have enough money to buy all the toys. So I had to make a whole lot of explanation and promises, you know, because I didn't want to miss this book. So I had to promise my children, definitely I will go back, get you your toys, but this book, very important to me. And I read it, I've read it more than twice since I bought it. Very, very captivating business book. Very important. Let me show you another wonderful book that you will love to read. Though I don't know whether you get it here. This book. Very important. How to become an entrepreneur. I bought this book when I traveled to East Africa. For the first few days I spent in Nairobi, Kenya, I was reading this book and I finished it in Kenya. When I got to Rwanda as well, I was going through this book for the second time. I read this book throughout the journey in the plane. Very good book. Talks about so many things. Some people will claim that they are business people, but you hardly see them reading business books. How do you think you can succeed in your business if you don't have the knowledge that you are required to have to succeed? Maybe you have experience on your own, but is that really enough for you to succeed, or go the extra mile that you need to go in order to really make it in your business? You may not have to get exactly this one, but there are so many other business books. Of course, I have many of them. Let me keep showing you. Okay. Look at this one. Starting your own business. Starting your own business. This book is wonderful. The good, the bad, and the unexpected. I got this book here in Onitsha when I went to Chili's restaurant to eat. I had limited money on me. As soon as I entered and I saw this book, I lost my appetite. The money I wanted to use to eat, I used it to buy this book, and I never regretted it. That night, I finished reading this book. I continued again the next morning. Wonderful book. Please, if you are in business, I encourage you, try as much as possible to buy business books. Look at this one. I bought this one when I traveled to Port Harcourt. International Business Basics. Very good book. Most of these books, I never regretted buying them. Very good books. Look at this one. 50 Best Business Ideas. Some of these books will motivate you, really motivate you to begin to think of what to do to succeed in your business. Or if you are not yet a business person, it will give you ideas that are very relevant, that will spur you up to think of doing something very profitable and very reasonable. Okay, finally, on the shelf that contains some of the business books, look at this one. The 4-Hour Week. The 4-Hour Work Week. This is popular book, a modern popular book. Many people have read it. It says, escape 9 to 5, live anywhere and join the new rich. Very wonderful book here. Okay. I have so many other motivational books I would like you to know about. For instance, the whole of this shelf here, right here, is a book by Miles Monroe. This one is Purpose and Power, Becoming a Leader, Understanding the Purpose of Men, Passing It On, Power, Character and Leadership, The Impossible, okay, Pursuit and Purpose. Then Principles of Power and Vision. Okay, just besides Miles Monroe's books, two other wonderful books. Look at this one. Guess who? Donald Trump. Very good book. I love Trump. And he's a very good businessman as well. The Art of the Deal. The Art of the Deal. How to negotiate. How to negotiate in business. Okay, maybe I'll be a little cracking of joke. I may be a little funny. How to negotiate with Kim Jong-un. How to negotiate with Russia. How to negotiate with China. Very good books. Look at another book by Donald Trump. Think Like a Champion. Think Like a Champion. You see, these books are great books. So you will love them when you read them. Okay, I have many motivational books here as well. Look at this one. This is another business book. Wow. Jack Welch. Jack Welch. Winning by Jack Welch. Remember Jack Welch? He was the CEO of GE, General Electric. He is a business guru. He wrote so many books that are very useful today. Okay, in this shelf where I got this one, there are so many other books here. This one is Ben Carson. Ben Carson has how many books here? 1, 2, 3. Has Gifted Hands. Think Big. You Have a Brain. Take the Risk. Take the risk. So many of you are scared of taking risk. When you read Ben Carson, yes, you'll be motivated to take the risk. Okay, then you still have Think Big. There are so many other ones here. Here in this other shelf, you have a very popular writer. Many of you know him. Look at the book here. Rich Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. So many of his books are here. Let me mention some of them. Run Your Own Corporation by Kiyosaki is here. More Important Than Money, an entrepreneur's team. Why A students work for C students and the B students work for the government. They are here. Okay. Then I have so many other books by Kiyosaki here. I have Retire Young, Retire Rich, Cash Flow Quadrant, Guide to Investing, the ABCs of Writing Winning Business Plans, Rich Dad's Conspiracy of the Rich. Look at it. Rich Dad's Conspiracy of the Rich. There are so many other books here by Kiyosaki. All these books, I'm sure you have read them. They are not just here for decoration. I've read these books over and over again. I strongly recommend them for any serious person who wants to acquire knowledge to read them. Okay. Wow. Tony Robbins. I'm sure some of you have heard of Tony Robbins. Look at his books. This is Tony Robbins. Money Master the Game. I've read this book once. Very good book, very vast book. Tony Robbins. I have another book from Anthony Robbins. Look at it. Awakening the Giants Within. You know, this guy is a very big motivational guru. So his books are wow, wonderful books. They are here. I've read them. Okay. Okay, there are so many good books here. Look at these books here. Look at them. Look at them. Look at them. Good books. This one is look at T.D. Jakes, Scott Anderson, Kate Harrell. Attitude is Everything. Look at by Kate Harrell. Good books, great books. How to make it big as a consultant. Just in case you want to become a consultant, you want to go into consulting. This book is very good. I've read it. Okay, that's for here. The whole of here, wonderful books. I've read all these books here. I have religious books as well. Of course, this is my Bible. It's part of the library. I have some other versions of the Bible here. I have hymn books. Hymn books because in the house, sometimes we sing hymns when we want to pray. I have hymn books, many of them here. I have church literature, Sunday school manual. So many of them are here. Even the past ones, they are not irrelevant. They are still relevant. From time to time, we'll consult them and we'll read them. Now, if you are like me, somebody that loves novels, somebody that loves to read literature books, then I have something to show you. Here, in this shelf, is the work of a very renowned writer. And what is his name? You guessed right. Sidney Sheldon. Wow. The stars shine down. The whole of this shelf is just Sidney Sheldon. Just him. This one, Rage of Angels, Best Laid Plans, Memories of Midnight, Bloodline, A Stranger in the Mirror, Are You Afraid of the Dark? These are books from Sidney Sheldon. Wonderful books, if you know what I mean. I have another great author, John Grisham. They are here. Many of his books. The Broker, Anointed House. So many of them, they are here. A Time to Kill. These are books of John Grisham, the Testament. Good books, great books. If you are somebody that loves to read novels, somebody that loves thrilling stories, you read them. I have Dan Brown also. They are here. The Da Vinci Code, they are here. The Deception Point, and so on and so forth. Some of Grisham books are equally here with Sidney Sheldon. For instance, If Tomorrow Comes. Remember Jamie McGregor. If Tomorrow Comes, from Sidney Sheldon. Okay, talking about novels as well. Let me look at this shelf. Wonderful novels. Take a look at this shelf. The whole of these are James Hadley Chase. The whole of this, James Hadley Chase. I'm sure you probably must have heard of him. He's a thriller writer. Let me mention some of the collections that are here. Trusted Like the Force, Eve. Get a load of this. Things Men Do, Mallory, A Lotus for Miss Spoon, My Love Comes Last, Miss Shumway Webster Wand, The Way the Cookie Crumbles. So many of them. The Sucker Punch, The Flesh of the Orchid, Coffin from Hong Kong, You Won't Need It Now, I Hold the Four Aces. So many of the books here. Wonderful books. I've read many of them. Very wonderful books. We need to deepen the culture of reading because it is almost dying these days. Many of our youth are busy watching television. But there is this wonderful saying that if you want to have vision, if you want to make it, you have a big library. But if you want your vision to be small, you have a big television. How I wish our youth these days have a big library where they can go and gain knowledge. Very important. Talking about novels, there are so many other novels I have here as well. I don't know, have I talked about Chimamanda Adichie? Look at it here. Half of a Yellow Sun, Purple Hibiscus. I have it. I actually have the thing around your neck. Where is it? Thing around your neck. Somewhere within here. I have so many other novels. Chinua Achebe's novels, Elechi Amadi, Wole Soyinka. Look at them. This is The Concubine by Elechi Amadi. This is Wole Soyinka. Trial of Brother Jeru. So many of them here. I have them. So I have Chinua Achebe, Things Fall Apart, Arrow of God. They are all here. This one, this side, this shelf. They are there. Okay, wow. This is my own book. My own book. I just had a delivery of the book I wrote myself. Too late for anything. So these are samples of some of the. These are samples of the book. Look at it. Too late for anything. I'm the author of this one. Very, very thrilling book. I'm sure you will love to read it, and you will never get disappointed when you do. Too late for anything. I don't want to talk too much about it. It's my book. Even me that wrote this book, each time I go through it, I always have goose pimples. It's a very good novel. You will love to read it. Okay. I have so many other books here, but I really don't want to waste your time. But there are some books I really need to mention. 301 Great Management Ideas. Very good book. Anywhere you see these books, please make sure you get them. Look at this one. Emotional Intelligence, New Rules. Very good book. Dr. Rob Young. I've read many of his books. Office Politics, I've read it. Starting Your Own Business, I've read it. This is a wonderful author. Any place you see his book, Dr. Rob Young, get the book and read. Okay. I really want to encourage our youth particularly, because the essence of making this video is to encourage people to read. You can never go wrong by reading. Read anything. Don't discriminate. Don't say, this one I will not read. Anything that will improve your knowledge and add to what you already know, read it. Read it. Very important to read. Read novels, read the Bible, read religious books, read books, science books, economics, business, and so on and so forth. I remember many years ago when I was in the university, and each time I visit the library to read, I read any book I come across. Some of my friends will see me and say, what is wrong with you? Most of the time you are not reading engineering books. You are not reading chemical engineering books. Sometimes we see you reading economics. Sometimes we see you reading novels. Are you sure you are going to graduate in this school? And I look at them and I laugh. I remember one day I told one of my friends that the primary interpretation of the Igbo word for university is Mahadum. Mahadum, which means know all of them. So if I come to the library to read all the books that I can get, I mean, that is the essence of coming here. I have come here to know all of them. I have not only come here to know chemical engineering, thermodynamics, engineering analysis, and so on and so forth. No, I've come to know a little bit of everything I can know, and today it's been useful all along. So our youths have to take reading seriously. We have to take reading seriously. We need to really, be serious with reading, and reduce the number of hours we waste in front of the television. Yes, I mean it. We watch Champions League, good. It's good to watch them, but it's not the best to be obsessed by them. Big Brother Africa. Every time we are there watching it. How many novels have you read this year? Let me ask us, those of you that are watching this video. Tell yourself the truth. This is 15th August. Let's assume 1 month, 1 book. 1 month, 1 book. Have you read up to 8 books this year? If you have not, you have merely wasted a greater part of this year. How will you learn if you can't imbibe other people's experiences and use it for yourself? You can't be successful. That is the truth. I just have to tell you the truth. The only way to succeed is to acquire knowledge, absorb knowledge, and knowledge you get it from the experiences that people have already passed through, and they just pass it across to you to take it for nothing. So please, we need to bring back the reading culture. We need to really do that. I have poems here. I have poems here. I read them. Yes, for entertainment and so on. So, as much as possible, get your own collection. Have a library. It may not be as big as this. It may not be, it may be bigger than this. Whatever you want, put it in your own collection. And make sure you read. Don't be tired of reading. I equally have an e-library. Not this physical one. The one I read using my iPad most of the time. But the physical library has something that it does to you. When you pick a book and you have it handy, most of the time you will love to open the book and read. I want to encourage us to read and to acquire knowledge and to use the knowledge to better humanity. Please. Okay. Before I end this talk, I would love to observe one thing. And what is it? What I want to observe is that I have emphasized the need for us to read, and I have equally emphasized the importance of reading. But when we are reading, have something in mind: knowledge to acquire, entertainment to get out of the thing you are reading, and so on. Don't just read aimlessly. There are people that I know, they only get a book for the sake of getting a book. Every time you see them carrying a book, you think they are making use of the book in terms of reading it, but it's just like cosmetics. It's like for decoration purposes. They are just using the book to give impression that they are reading. That is self-deceit. Please get a book and read. Have a kind of timetable for yourself, such that at least minimum of one book 1 month. Thank you so much, and God bless you.